There is a moment, somewhere between paying for your ticket and being blasted into a galaxy far, far away by Dolby Surround Sound, that you catch a whiff of that smell. Buttery, salty, irresistible. You weren't even hungry before, but now you're on a mission. A mission for movie theater popcorn. Movie theater popcorn doesn't just smell better, it tastes better. Better than anything you could pop at home, on the stove, or in the microwave, which is where popcorn goes to die. But why is it so much better? Is it just nostalgia, or is there more to it? Well, today we're finding out why movie theater popcorn hits different. But before we get to popping, why not subscribe to the Weird History channel? Then let us know in the comments below what snack staples you would like to hear about next. Okay, is it possible to get extra butter on my butter? Popcorn is ancient, like biblical times would have called it retro, kind of ancient. The oldest evidence of popcorn was found in Peru, carbon dated to 6,700 years ago. That's older than the wheel. Popcorn predates democracy, algebra, and probably even the concept of waiting for previews to end. It all began with teosinte, a wild grass that ancient Mesoamericans domesticated into maize. One strain, Zimaiosivirta, had a unique trait. It popped. When you heat it up, the moisture inside expands, the kernel explodes, and boom, snack magic. From Peru to the Iroquois of the Great Lakes, tribes were popping corn using hot sand and clay pots, long before Netflix and chilling was even an option. Popcorn wasn't just food. It was ritual, currency, and in some cases, fashion. People used it for ceremonial headdresses and jewelry. Slathering it in butter and white cheddar to watch Fast X was probably the furthest thing from their minds. By the 1800s, popcorn had moved north and was being eaten across the U.S. It was cheap, quick, and wildly entertaining. Families popped it over fireplaces. People brought it to picnics and church socials. Abraham Lincoln probably ate popcorn at the theater. Unconfirmed, but come on. In 1885, candy store owner Charles Treaters invented the first steam-powered mobile popcorn machine in Chicago. Suddenly, popcorn wasn't just a home snack. It was street theater. Vendors could make it on the spot, sending that buttery smell wafting through fairs, circuses, and sporting events like an edible Pied Piper. And yet, for all this popularity, there was one place popcorn wasn't welcome: at the theater. Cue record scratch. Early 20th century movie theaters were highbrow. They saw themselves as fancy-pants versions of opera houses, adorned with velvet drapes, marble columns, chandeliers, and absolutely no snacks. Theater operators were worried about the noise, the mess, the chewing, and the very real threat of popcorn crumbs in expensive rugs. Heck, people are still worried about most of those things every time Orville Redenbacher pays a visit. Some theaters even had signs asking guests to check their popcorn with their coats. Yes, movie theaters used to have a coat check. And yes, sometimes it was full of people's checked popcorn, like a snack valet. But popcorn vendors were clever. They would set up shop right outside the theater, selling to customers who would then sneak the forbidden kernels inside in their coats. And thus, another time-honored tradition of going to the movies was born: sneaking in outside food. It's why ladies tend to bring their big purse to the movies. Despite the upturned noses, popcorn was already beginning its takeover of movie theaters. Enter the Great Depression. Money was tight, spirits were lower, but the movies were somehow still magical. And more importantly, they were still cheap. By the 1930s, weekly movie attendance hit 90 million. Popcorn, at 5 to 10 cents a bag, was the ultimate recession-proof luxury. You couldn't afford a steak dinner, but you could feel fancy by sneaking a bag into a bougie theater to catch a movie. Popcorn was cheap to make and didn't spoil, meaning it required zero refrigeration, which would have been an expensive hurdle for a theater in the 1930s. Plus, the popcorn smelled amazing, which could potentially lure in more customers. Theaters finally realized what everyone else had. Popcorn wasn't a nuisance, it was a gold mine. One Kansas City entrepreneur, Julia Braden, convinced a local theater to let her sell popcorn inside. By 1931, she was operating 4 stands and was earning what would be around $230,000 a year today, in the middle of the Depression, with corn. Hey, a good idea is a good idea, and popcorn at the movies was now undeniably a good idea. World War II sealed the deal. Sugar rationing made candy rare, but popcorn remained abundant. By 1945, more than half of all popcorn eaten in the U.S. was consumed in movie theaters. This era also gave us the greatest propaganda film of all time. Let's all go to the lobby. You know the jingle. Even if you don't know, you know it. A dancing line of hot dogs, candy, and of course popcorn, delivering a hypnotic invitation to go down to the lobby and buy yourself a snack. Popcorn and movies were officially married. The rise of TV in the 1950s pulled people away from theaters, but popcorn stayed strong. Companies like Easy Pop and Jiffy Pop brought the experience home. Then came the microwave, simultaneously popcorn's greatest ally and most notorious foe. In 1981, General Mills patented the microwave popcorn bag. Sales skyrocketed. Orville Redenbacher became a household name, with his snowflake hybrid kernel that popped fluffier and bigger than anything else. By the mid-80s, Americans were spending $250 million a year on microwave popcorn, and there was no going back. But even as its popularity exploded like so many buttered kernels, nothing came close to replicating the unique taste of a bucket at the local multiplex. So, what the heck is in it? Popcorn's flavor glow-up came thanks to a secret weapon known as Flavacol. Flavacol is a superfine, bright yellow powder made of salt, artificial butter flavor, yellow number 5 and yellow number 6, and possible sorcery. Unlike regular salt, it melts into the oil before the corn pops, infusing each kernel with buttery flavor from the inside out. It's what gives popcorn that signature color and taste. You're not imagining it. It's engineered to be addictive. Plus, because it uses artificial butter, it's vegan, so no one is excluded from the lure of movie popcorn. Now for the big elephant in the room. What is movie theater butter? Because it's definitely not butter. That golden goop from the concession pump is hydrogenated soybean oil, artificial flavors, beta-carotene for color, and a whisper of FDA approval. It does not melt. It does not spoil. It does not resemble dairy in any way, and yet it's simply too delicious to resist. It was scientifically engineered to be the perfect pairing with movie theater popcorn. No, really. Real butter would be too expensive and would make the popcorn soggy. But movie theater butter lightly coats the kernels while keeping them fluffy. It's probably flammable, but in a dark theater, it's liquid gold. Here's where things get sciencey. Even though the ingredients truly are different, part of the reason popcorn tastes better at the theater is because your brain wants it to. The smell of popcorn is linked to memory, emotion, and dopamine. One study found that even stale popcorn tastes better in a theater setting than fresh popcorn at home. Your brain fills in the flavor based on the experience. You don't just want popcorn, you want the smell of the lobby, the dimming lights, and the rumble of the speakers. Hitting the popcorn button on a microwave is simply never going to rival that experience, unless Daft Punk starts building microwaves. Movie theaters rely on snacks. Ticket sales mostly go to studios, with major companies like Disney taking the biggest slice of the pie. But concessions are where the theater really gets to wet its beak, and there is some serious beak wetting going on. A bucket of popcorn costs theaters about 80 cents. However, they turn around and sell it for between $8 and $15. That's a 1,500% markup, but those concession profits can make up 50% or more of a theater's income. So when you take the Jingle's advice and head to the lobby for some snacks, the massive upcharge you're paying isn't just for the popcorn. You're also covering the AC, the projector, and the employee selling it to you. It's no secret that theaters suffered a lot during the lockdown period of the COVID-19 pandemic, and they continue to struggle as movies have returned to the screen. But theaters recently stumbled into a way to lure more customers away from streaming movies: collectible popcorn buckets. Movie theater popcorn is one of the only advantages theaters have. And what better way to appeal to movie lovers than offering them that iconic taste in a fun movie-themed container? Special edition popcorn buckets have become their own subculture. In 2023, a popcorn bucket for Dune, featuring a sandworm, became an immediate meme. and AMC's Barbie convertible popcorn bucket sold out in minutes and resold online for over $200. Inspired by that success, theater chains have begun releasing special corn buckets for pretty much every movie, and they all sell out instantly. People wait in lines, post unboxings, trade online. Some fans have full bucket shrines proudly displaying their collections. These limited edition popcorn buckets also make great containers for your old Beanie Babies. Okay, so you want to recreate a trip to the movies at home, and you don't feel like getting movie theater popcorn delivered, which is an option some theaters actually offer. You can try to whip up your own batch with the following ingredients: refined coconut oil, not the kind that tastes like pina colada, Flavacol, which you can buy in bulk for any popcorn emergencies, high-quality kernels, and a stovetop popper or whirly pop. The microwave will have to sit this one out. Mix the oil and Flavacol before popping, because that's how theaters do it. Then drizzle with a butter topping, or real butter if you don't mind your movie corn a little salty. Serve immediately, then blame the previews when you eat the entire bowl before the movie starts. So what do you think? Do you load up on popcorn at the movies, or do you have another go-to theater snack? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of these other weird history food videos.